Okay, Freddie Flintoff has now weighed in on the Australian ball tampering scandal. He's weighed in on the Australian ball tampering. He does admit that he feels that the punishments are too harsh by Cricket Australia, but at the same time, I think he also admits that it's also a watershed moment and the game and the culture in the sport has to change. At the same time, he also does not believe that others weren't involved in the ball tampering in management or in the squad. Because how can Mitchell Stark look at that ball and go, it hasn't been tampered with, something's wrong with it, this is kind of obvious? Either that or he believes he's Wazim Akram, in Freddie Flintoff's words, and that he's getting all sorts of movement because of his bowling technique. David Warner obviously is a pariah at the moment, and he's not very popular in the sport itself. He's a very unpopular character, and you do get these characters who really are genuinely disliked by their peers. In sport and in politics and in business, and he generally is disliked by his teammates and opponents alike in equal measure. That's what I'm getting from looking at the media and everything that's been written. Freddie Flintoff has stayed on the fence about this, and he stayed quiet, but he was very critical on how certain members of ex-players and the media have got their 2 cents worth, be it on YouTube or on Twitter or on a social media platform or in the press, actually on the media, the mainstream, and made money out of other people's despair. He was very critical of that because he's basically said we've all done it. We've all ball tampered at somewhere. We've done something that's not within the keeping of the game. Nothing as bad as what has happened. His words. But he's finally had his say, and I think his has been the most balanced opinion of the whole thing. He will admit he does admit that he believes others knew, and that there is more to come out. That's basically what he was saying. He was very angry with or disappointed with how some of his colleagues in the ex-playing world or in the media, because he's now also a media pundit, he's now got a podcast, have been so how they've cashed in by writing articles and going on TV programs and giving interviews and basically cashing in on other people's despair. But Freddie Flintoff has had his say. It's exceptionally interesting what he had to say. I suggest you listen to the BBC podcast of Flintoff, Savage, and the Ping Pong Guy on BBC Radio on 5 Live if you're in the UK. If you haven't heard it, there are clips on the internet, and it's very interesting what he has to say about the ball tampering. But anyway, thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe. Place your comments below, and I'll have some more videos for you soon.